of building a winning sales team on lead generation. Okay, now, what else do you get in this system? So I'm just scratching the tip of the iceberg here. You also get a book called 2004's Tales from the Throne. These are all my archived online tips from 2004. There's a ton of good stuff in here. It's 139 pages. Again, you can see this is no fluff, full pages, no 2-inch margins, normal margins. Here's your real bottom line when it comes to smart marketing. Let's see some more good ones. If I can get headlines while I'm whipping through here. I'll give you some in a second. Urgent warning, 3 ways to avoid getting infected by MMIS. And you'll see a testimonial on the webpage I'm going to give you for this, that this alone is something somebody keeps right by the side of their desk to write emails all the time. This is a great idea generator. In addition to being great information to use and communicate with your own list, it's great for working on any of your projects. If you're not familiar with me, one of my hallmarks is my quality of content. I do not screw around. I take a lot of personal pride in what I do. I work very hard. I'm very proud of my work ethic, and that comes across in everything I do. So if you haven't ordered from me, that's what you could look forward to, because I don't know about you, but in today's day and age, there really is no service in the service business anymore. I don't like that. I assume my clients and customers don't like that, so I go overboard to make sure they never even get a thought about that in their mind. Now, included in here, got this in Key West, my Jimmy Buffett mug. Included in here are such notable standouts as how to write killer compelling sales copy by doing nothing, the most profitable product in the world you could ever sell, large one which came from an article, some information I read from Elmer Wheeler's book called Tested Sentences That Sell, how to use a simple sales letter to get anything you want, and how to be an instant expert in anything you want without waiting for the expert fairy to come and anoint you. This is 139 pages. You also get a couple of certificates in here. One is good for critique of your sales copy. Just send me any piece of sales copy, and actually you probably want to use this one first. This is a free emotional buy button audit. What you want to do with this is go through the program and then sit and figure out which specific emotions, it says 47, but there's 50 emotions in there I go through, and you get actual sales copy, sales strategy, and marketing, I guess, tips and shortcuts to use for each of them in any particular marketplace. Go through there and then submit your critique and say, hey Craig, I'm going to use these emotions to set up this particular campaign. What are your thoughts on it? And I don't hand those off to some flunky. I do those myself. All my critiques are very thorough. In fact, I've had 2 separate situations where I can think of recently. I've had many, but one is a guy, David Lowery, on the strength of my critique, went and joined my mastermind group. Another one is, I don't know, maybe a week or 2 ago, a guy named Ron Wright. He's an attorney out of California. He got a critique from me, and he went and bought the Seductive Selling System, this entire package. So, like I said, everything I do is extremely thorough and detailed, because otherwise I'm wasting my time, frankly. So I'd rather do it right and do it the first time. So after you do your emotional buy button audit, then you could send me your actual piece. You get a free critique here. Send me your piece and I'll critique it. And those are fax critiques, very detailed. I'm usually writing in 9 or 10 point font on the thing, so it's not like you get a 1 page of 12 or 14 point font with 3 paragraphs. It's 35 lines in there for you to go through. What else do you get? I mean, even things like this are instructive. Have you ever gotten a thank you letter when you bought something? I haven't. Well, I send them out regularly with everything I do, okay? Because I genuinely appreciate your business. But even the thank you letter itself is quite instructive when you go and figure out how to set this up and what to say. So the copy alone in the thank you letter is worth the cost of the system, not to mention everything else you're getting. And I'm not saying that to exaggerate. If you get one idea from a thank you letter that changes and gets you 1 client or 1 new customer, how much is that worth to you? I cannot tell you how many people have sent me emails and gone on to do more business with me, and the email specifically said, I was astounded to get a thank you. One I could think of off the top of my head is a guy named Craig Eubanks in California. He's a guru in the hypnotist industry. And who else? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right away, but Craig has sent me a load of information that he was astounded because he's a big consumer of product, and this is the first time he's ever got a thank you, and I send one on everything I do. You'll find out when you order. Now, you also get the 5 audio CDs with the 4.5 hours of information on those DVDs. And oh, by the way, the DVDs, I don't know if I mentioned this, another kind of pet peeve of mine is when you get an audio CD or a DVD and there's like 20 minutes of information on it or 30 minutes of information. I have 5 CDs and 5 DVDs. There's 4.5 hours of information on it. I just don't like heft for heft's sake. Because really, who are you fooling? Nobody. It's different if you got a bunch of CDs and they run out, but you get them and they're all 30 minutes long. Come on, throw 60 minutes on a CD. Make it action-packed, Anyway, you get these 5 CDs in here, which is the audio tracks of all the information I gave you on the DVDs. Okay, I would encourage you to listen to these even if you watch the DVDs, because it's going to impact in your head differently because you're hearing it versus seeing it. Now, you also get transcripts from each of these CDs, okay? Again, about 25 pages each. There's 5 of these right here, okay? And I would encourage you to read them because you are going to pick up different things on, this is weird, how do I do this? You're going to pick up different things on each of these transcripts when you go through them reading than you will listening and when you will watching them. I'm piling up all this stuff, I cannot even move my legs. Okay, so what else do you get? Now, if you are not already a newsletter subscriber, you get a free 30-day trial to my Seductive Selling offline newsletter, the one that's now in 12 countries. Now, with that, you get 15 gifts. Now, I understand that in the marketing industry, when someone says you get 15 gifts, normally you're thinking, I'll get 14 things I could pull out of my kid's Cracker Jack box, and if I'm lucky, I'll get one report that's got 3 pages of information in that. Not with the king. Let me show you what you get here. This is something like the envelope you'll get when you get your 15 free items. So first of all, you get 2 free interviews downloaded to you right away. They're over an hour long, so as soon as you subscribe, you're going to get those. I think one is called The Psychology of Selling, and the other one has something to do with success, but there's 2 interviews you get right away, each of them over an hour long. You also get my 8-panel business card, which is a business card that actually sells something, okay? You could actually sell off here. Nobody does that, Most people have business cards. They look like this, and you take them and throw them in the trash, like that, okay? No one's going to do that with my business card. I've gotten phone calls from my card, I don't know, 2.5 years after people have gotten them, simply because the power of the card itself. So here's what else you get. Let me tell you what you get when you subscribe to my newsletter, all the gifts. You get the 2 interviews, okay? You get 2 more of these sales copy critiques. So when you buy this, when you invest in this system, you're getting 3 sales copy critiques. This alone will pay for your investment many, many, many times over. I charge for a full package to write copy and come up with strategy, $60,000 plus 3% royalty. So I'm pretty confident that 3 critiques will have your head spinning in a different place. Okay? A guy named Brian Edmondson, he does some affiliate marketing. He sent me in 2 of his critiques, and he said they made a tremendous impact on his business, and he changed the whole strategy of how he was doing things, and now he's taking things offline, and he's seeing some good results, and he's gotten very serious about his business just from the comments I gave him on there. Here's my Austin Powers cup. I love this guy, Dr. Evil. I'm going to take over the world. Anyway, so here's the deal. You also get, let's open up this basket of goodies when you get my newsletter. Okay, what do you get? You get 5 discs in here. One of them is going to be a CD interview of the month. My audio success CD, you get those with every single newsletter issue every month. I usually interview interesting people. These are not some politically correct bullshit kind of questions I'm asking on there, like, how is your headline? What's your biggest lead? What do you see for the future? Those are bullshit questions. These are questions like, what's the biggest screw up you ever made? If you could change things in your business, what would you do? Of all the things you could think about, what's the thing you're most proud of overcoming, and how did you overcome it? What's the best piece of advice you get? And we also have a little section in there called, you know how they have that guy inside the actor's studio? I have a section called Inside the Marketer's Studio, and I ask him some pretty wacky questions in there. I'm not asking what's your favorite curse word, although once in a while I have, and they've come up with some pretty candid remarks. But so you get an hour-plus interview every month, and you're going to get one of these free. You're all actually going to get 2 of these free, okay? You're probably going to get this one here of Ed O'Keefe. Ed's a great guy. He's a guru in the cosmetic dentist markets and orthodontist, and he's doing probably over $6 million in revenue right now. He went from 0 to $3.5 million in a little over 3 years. We have a real candid interview on here. I actually talk about some pretty personal stuff on this interview as well, so it's good. Both of us do, as a matter of fact. We both started with nothing. There's also a good interview here with Dave Lacani. He's a best-selling author. Dave is actually interviewing me soon for something. He's participating in my newsletter project.